Dan Bilzerian, Zabit Magomed Sharipov, Ben Askren, Lil Dicky, Mick Foley. God, message received. Happy? Am I a better person now, you shallow prick?
It's good that you're hungry again.
Oh, you're also unhappy with me wearing stethoscope and the scrub top with the shorts. Fine, I'll fix that too. I'll wear plain black t-shirt. How is that any better? I'm keeping the basketball shorts though, sue me. I'm about to air all sorts of my own dirty laundry in this video. I'm going to admit that my whole YouTube channel is a bit of a sham, because as a lot of you have already figured out, I'm not a real doctor. No, I'm not joking. I'll explain in a bit, stay tuned. Also, I'm going to illustrate to you why Conor McGregor is a bad person. I'm sure you'll love that. I made a video about Conor McGregor where I implied something that wasn't entirely true. And believe it or not, Conor McGregor fans let me know about it in the most rational, level-headed, and respectful way.
Phil, don't come at that king! Don't ever come at that.
Here, let me summarize how high quality the average comment was by showing you just two of them. Apparently, I absolutely love a certain former US president because I'm such a triggered, emotional mess. And also, I apparently absolutely hate that same certain US former president because I'm such a triggered, emotional mess. Good job, guys. I'm glad you were able to make a 1-minute video on Conor McGregor and sports injuries about politics. I'm not even American, by the way. I'm going to go in on a bunch of commenters with this video. I want all the smoke. And I answer pretty much every comment I ever get. So bring it on, McGregor stands. I'm still right here. I'm still waiting for one of you to make any sense. To be clear, I absolutely adore my community. It's a pretty small one, but I think my Twitch chat is actually second to none. Also, I do recognize that the comments don't necessarily reflect how the video was received, considering the very, very high like to dislike ratio. Like this video, by the way, please. The YouTube algorithms, and I appreciate it. But even just going off the comments, there was a ton of positive ones and valuable ones as well. I appreciated every single one, truly. But this video isn't about the positive comments. That wouldn't be nearly as fun now, would it? Looking back, my video is kind of trash. It's the truth. I structured it so poorly, not foreseeing that at least 99.994% of the people that were going to watch that video were gonna be people that didn't watch my previous one where I made the actual mistake. I didn't even say what I did wrong. I just jumped ahead to explaining my thought process. And then people just assumed that was what my mistake was and started bashing me for it, understandably, of course. So here's the actual summary of events. I thought I saw Dustin Poirier check to kick while watching UFC 264 live, and as soon as I realized Conor's leg had broken, my mind went straight back there, and I thought this was just another Anderson Silva / Chris Weidman injury case. I was so sure, in fact, that I decided not to make a video on it because Weidman's broken leg was so recent and I felt I would be repeating myself. Then, 12 hours later, a light bulb went off about attacking his "there was no check" angle, so I made a video making fun of him for it, thinking Conor was just being a salty loser because the rug was pulled out from under him and he didn't know what to do with his rage but dismiss his opponent's win. And yell at his wife, of course, naturally. Then when he came out with his little scooter vlog, I decided my confidence making fun of him was unfounded, so I made a video to clear the air. Mind you, absolutely no one called for me to make an apology video. I just value honesty. It's high time we learn the truth behind the Conor McGregor injury. Why did his leg break? I legitimately really enjoyed some of the insight I got from you guys. Some of you suggested that he cycles for cardio instead of running, which might negatively affect his bone density. Some of you mentioned that weight cutting could do so as well. Also, some of you brought up that he may have been snorting a powdered sugar substitute. I don't know what that was all about. I hadn't considered any of those things. This is just one reason why I absolutely love to read the comments. We also talked with some of you about if me taking him at his word about him having stress fractures beforehand, whether believing him was a dumb idea or not. Considering no one backed him up after all that, ask Dana White, ask the UFC. Probably wasn't a great idea. Honestly, I probably should have taken the opportunity to apologize to absolutely nobody. The truth is, I'm over it because we'll probably never know for sure. So after 3 videos, my definitive answer to why did Conor McGregor leg break or why Conor McGregor leg broken is, I don't know. Okay, so obviously I was joking when I was praising those Trump comments in the beginning, but there is some legitimate criticism that I must address and frankly apologize for. This little clip right here. Alright, for real, here's the sitch. Here's the sitch? Why did that feel so natural at the time? I Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of still like the word. Here's a compromise. I'll only use it ironically from now on. How about that? It is a real word though, just FYI. For real this time. One of the more popular sentiments was, a real doctor wouldn't just go out and assume stuff. Actually, you're wrong. It's kind of a big part of our job description. We gather the available information on a case, and then we cross-reference that with the info in our brain on various diseases.
This is number one easy fight in lightweight division.
If none of them are potential emergencies, our first action is going to be to move as if the patient has whatever disease is most likely. I gave a pretty decent example to this in my previous controversy, actually, on fat phobia. Imagine a comatose male brought into the ER. His pupils are unresponsive to light. His family informs you that he loves distilling his own alcohol and that he recently went on a binge on his own moonshine. Wait, no. It probably isn't methanol intoxication. Tell me what else he's been up to. I can't just go ahead and assume that his problems are because of this glaring thing. Let's look for a tumor or something. Oh, what's that? Those commenters were in the right because assume and presume are two different things? Dang it! Well, I guess 10 points to Dr. Mo haters then. I wouldn't want my doctor to be this emotional / triggered / sensitive / neurotic dude. It's a scripted video. Each of those clips took me a bunch of takes to get right. I mean, is it so weird that I assumed that a training camp would like, it's insane to me that it isn't more obvious to you that I'm not actually losing my mind right now. See what I did there? Lying to entertain. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, actually. You should look it up. It is hilarious how wrong these comments are. Maybe, just maybe, ease up on trying to read a dude like a book until after you've watched the second 1-minute video. I love the stethoscope and nurse outfit for credibility move was also a pretty popular one, as we already mentioned. And yeah, I get it's a bit cringe, but it's also a pretty normal presentation thing if you ask me. A lawyer YouTuber might wear a suit before filming a video, a pilot YouTuber might wear their uniform, and an NBA YouTuber might wear a basketball jersey or hang one in the background. Coincidentally, I am an NBA YouTuber and I do that as well. Link in the description. Read this for my full answer. Apparently there are a bunch of experts on doctor mannerisms and I failed the test. Fiddlesticks. I assure you there are doctors with all types of personalities. Turns out medical doctors are just regular people with a certain profession. Who'd have thunk it, huh? Boy, you sure have a lot of free time for a doctor. Alright, dude, sorry for enjoying a couple hours on YouTube and not being a robot that only ever works. Actually, no, I'm not letting that go that easy. Emergency Department Mo has some words for you. This is me on my way home at 9 a.m. after I had to spend 52 of the last 72 hours in the hospital. Look at those eyes. Look at them.
That's disgusting, man.
That 20 I got to stay at home is a little bit much though. I gotta cut that down to at the most 2.5. You're right. I'd be slacking. Not a real doctor. If this guy's a real doctor, I'm this random thing. Fake doctor. Actually, I'm a fraud. I'm not a doctor. I'm a pop star. No. I'm not even joking right now. My titles are just straight up false.
I just value honesty.
This is no revelation, however. I say this all the time in my videos and my live streams as well.
Twitch.tv/drmoproductions.
I'm basically a doctor though. I've passed all the exams in medical school and I've finished 5 of the 6 years I'm required to. I just have to finish this 1-year internship where I get paid $1,200 a year and then I'm all set. Until then, I walk like a duck. I talk like a duck. Everybody at the hospital calls me a duck. But I'm not technically a duck yet. Here's something a bunch of you guys, rightfully presumed, but wrongly dissed me for, randomly deleting my own comments. Not a thing. I don't do that. I mean, I know that the notification that tells you exactly what I say doesn't disappear, so it wouldn't make much sense for me to. YouTube literally deleted tens of my comments, along with a bunch of yours as well, and they were pretty much all completely innocent. Get your house in order, YouTube.
What are you doing, bro?
I spend 5 minutes writing out a thought-out response to someone, and then it just disappears. Sometimes before I can even get an answer back. It's even worse when we're in the middle of a heated argument, as you can imagine. Also, I didn't get notifications for like half the comments I got, so it made it a real hassle to respond to everyone. So dumb. Hey, you just mad because Conor is paid! Oh man, this is the type of commenter that has everything figured out. I singled out Conor McGregor to be jealous of before the thousands of billionaires and all of the athletes richer than him. Or I'm just constantly bitter about everyone in the world that has a net worth higher than $3,000. That works too, I guess.
His legacy is money. My legacy is smash.
Not a real apology, bro. Considering it's overwhelmingly probable that none of the commenters who said this actually even know what I apologize for, let me lay it out. My mistake was I thought I saw Dustin Poirier check a kick while watching the fight live, and I didn't double check before predicating a whole entire video around it. And that's kind of odd because I usually triple check everything I put in a video. But I guess that's where the assumptions came in. It's like, why would his leg break if there was no check? There must have been a check. I don't need to double check. For some reason though, my sucky fight watching skills means I'm a sucky doctor. And when doctors make mistakes, people die.
Because I'm a doctor. Because when we make mistakes, people die.
So I'm supposed to get on my knees and beg. And if I throw in a couple of jokes and jabs at Conor McGregor, then I just didn't apologize. Except the whole thing was supposed to be a parody of a standard YouTuber apology from the first scene. The first words out of my mouth were sigh. YouTuber doctor apology time. Obviously, I'm not being serious. Why point out the obvious? Oh, because you thought I should have been? Fair enough, but no, I was plenty serious in relation to my crime. This to me was like being in a random fun argument with a friend and I was adamant about them being wrong. It's embarrassing how wrong you are. Ratio.
Disgusting.
Then the next day, when I find out I was confident for no reason or just straight up wrong, I say, man, turns out you were right about Kyle Lowry being the greatest clutch player of our generation. And that's that. We carry on with our day. I don't have to make it up to them or anything. But I end the video on a serious tone anyway, and I say I'll try and do better next time. What more do these people expect from me exactly? How could you not care if you're writing paragraphs to everyone? Your ego doesn't let you ignore the comments. So let me get this straight. The other YouTubers you're comparing me to don't reply to your hate comments because they're so humble? Alright, if you say so. Except I reply to pretty much every single comment I get on this channel, be it positive, negative, or completely unrelated to myself. And believe it or not, I don't care if Sailor Moon 628 doesn't like me. I truly don't. I also don't care if you believe me when I say that. I'm just out here having fun on the internet. I'm doing whatever I feel like doing. I love interacting with viewers even if they are just there to insult me.
This is what I want.
That's not to say I can't take criticism. I always do. I did multiple times in the comments of that same video. But stop clout chasing, you annoying fake doctor is hardly criticism. And I do care about my channel and how I present myself. But the person that's supposed to be happy with that is me, not Sailor Moon 628. The real question is, why are you dissing me for thinking you were worth a response? Dustin cheated too was by far the most popular thing to comment. Here's the thing though, I never criticized Conor for cheating. First of all, now that I think about it, I don't even think we should be calling it cheating because in any other sport, it's just a foul that wasn't called. And that's on the ref. Thanks, Herb Dean. Cheating is like using PEDs and stuff. I'm totally fine with sneaky, non-dangerous veteran moves like that, you know? Although I can't say that without bringing up this disgusting illegal knee from the Khabib versus McGregor fight.
I think he's getting smashed. I agree with you.
That was a really fast and hard knee to the face of someone that has no reason to expect it in the slightest. I hate that. And I hate even more that he went on to brag about it. Anyway, I brought up McGregor holding on to Poirier's gloves for dear life because of how we talked about that sequence. He said he worked hard on fighting from his back, and he talked about his superior skills, and that's why Dustin backed away. And he didn't address the biggest reason why Poirier backed away, his illegal move. This brought his honesty into question, and I was about to predicate a whole video on his word. And in hindsight, I think I was right to question it. Stop trying to act like you're neutral, you're just a hater. Bro, what? Where did you guys get that I was pretending to not be a hater? I'm a massive Khabib Nurmagomedov fanboy.
Nurmagomedov.
He's the reason I ever watched a single UFC fight. Actually, I couldn't even stomach them before because of the hits to the head. Now I'm cheering for Islam Makhachev to ground and pound his way to victory. Funny how these things work. So yes, I'm a Conor McGregor hater. Mind you, this doesn't mean I can't be objective or consistent when I speak about him. I'm definitely going to surprise you on how unbiased my spicy take on Conor going after Khabib's late great father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov is. But he is a trash person in my opinion, and I do put value in an athlete's character if I'm going to support them. Here's 13 reasons why Khabib is the pinnacle of that, and here's a couple reasons why Conor is garbage. Honestly, anyone that has multiple unwarranted violent outbursts just automatically loses my respect. Conor doesn't give a crap about your respect. Shut up. I know. I do. Give a crap? What's the basis? I have a bunch of principles and I view life with them. I'm just giving you my perspective. I can definitely update my perspective on people if I think they've truly changed, which I did with Conor McGregor in his 2 previous fights versus Cowboy Cerrone and Dustin Poirier too, but alas, same old, same old. The moment I lost all respect for Conor McGregor was when he punched that old man in the bar. Can you imagine the force a Conor McGregor left hook generates? No need. Here it is exactly. I'm assuming those are pounds. Here's what Khabib had to say about this.
Простых людей, как на слабаков.
Но, знаешь, когда ты профессиональный боец, когда ты являешься, твои руки, твои ноги, твои действия, это как холодное оружие. У нас, обычных людях, если даже они этого заслуживают, иногда бывает, что человек заслуживает рукоприкладства, да, так скажем, этого не стоит делать. Если ты умеешь бросать, душить, бить, этого не стоит делать на тех людях, которые, например, элементарно, если ты бросишь, он не умеет падать, не умеет страховаться.
Oh, you think I'm just being a Khabib fanboy, do ya? Well, guess what? Conor agrees with me.
Nobody can take that left-hand shot. And if you're afraid of a smack off me, a smack will feel like a double-barrel shotgun. I swing that left hook. The human skull cannot take it.
So you see a completely unassuming old dude in a bar that wasn't even looking in your general direction, and you have plenty of time to decide not to do what you're about to do. And you think it's a good idea to wind up and blast the man in the head with the hand you've specifically crafted to drop professional fighters like ragdolls.
Such a deadly weapon.
So Khabib Nurmagomedov, the soon-to-be pound-for-pound greatest fighter in the world, mid-fight would feel like he got hit by a double-barrel shotgun. What exactly did you imagine a random 50-year-old dude that had no idea he was about to get assaulted would feel? Give us another metaphor, Mystic Mac. I'm sure it wouldn't have been hard for you to predict these things.
And the saddest thing about it is, it's the first fight you've won in 3 years. I'm more annoyed that over the years, a lot of people have said that this is the type of bloke he is, and I've thought, nah.
Then he apparently bought the pub and banned the man? That man could have literally died. You'd be surprised at how easy it is to develop a brain bleed. Doctor time! Kept it black so I wouldn't have to diagnose you with emotional whiplash. Your brain starts to get smaller as you age. This is called cerebral atrophy. This stretches and causes tension in the veins that connect the inside of the brain to the out. This means they can easily break with the smallest of impacts. Sometimes patients have to think long and hard to remember that they tapped their head on the wall and thought nothing of it. And the veins rupturing can, of course, cause a cerebral hemorrhage, a brain bleed. Now, is 50 that old? Not at all. But could someone that looked like that easily have been 65? Absolutely. Conor didn't take a medical history before swinging. Oh, and guess what else causes cerebral atrophy? Alcoholism. Guess what else can cause a brain bleed in an otherwise completely healthy and young individual? An unexpected freaking left hook from the infamous Conor McGregor. Also, I don't think I need to explain to fight fans the devastating potential complications of even just one concussion. Y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. All in all, this is serious stuff. They're lucky nothing happened, and you're just objectively and categorically wrong if you're trying to downplay it. Moving on to the bus incident. What type of child brain do you need to have to think it's okay to throw a dolly through a populated bus's window? What if the glass shard that cut Michael Chiesa's forehead hit his eye and left him disabled for life? Would it have been worth it?
You alright, Mike? Did my cut bad? I don't want to touch my face.
Like, I'm afraid to move out like glass on my shirt.
What if one of them randomly nicked his carotid and threatened his life? It's literally right here. Is it probable? No. Is it worth the risk for a temper tantrum? But you'd be surprised at the stuff we see in the emergency department, and you have no idea what's going to happen when you set out to do this irresponsible garbage. And I don't think Conor McGregor will ever realize that.
I'm gonna put him.
I actually love me some good trash talk. Call your opponent weak, say he has a glass jaw, say he stat padded his record and actually has no skill. Awesome. I am absolutely here for that because it's all in good fun until the fight. But going after a parent's wife, kids, parents, religion, culture, country, what the hell is that? Oh, you've obviously never been in the fight business, dude. Shut up. I took karate lessons for all of 1 week. And even I know that martial arts is all about self-defense and respect. I didn't get around to buying my karate gi though. Maybe that's when you start clamoring about your sensei's wife. Listen, I get selling a fight and I get gaining a competitive advantage, but it takes a special kind of person to sell their dignity for money and a W. Saying you'll kill Dustin's family in their sleep, tweeting a photo of his daughter, captioned Gonzo. The hell is that supposed to be? I'm not even sure he doesn't mean these things. Watch this. Here comes the fiery hot take. The COVID is good and father is evil tweet? Wasn't that bad.
Where I come from, you know, people like that get slapped.
Habib called Conor evil out of the blue, and Conor used Habib's logic against him to get the best of that interaction and hurt him with an edgy joke. Don't get me wrong, it's bad. He's not even promoting any fight. And have you seen this clip?
Ну и сегодня я в прямом эфире пригласил и Конора.
На самом деле его простили?
Да, это все в прошлом. Нельзя останавливаться, жизнь продолжается. И наша религия должна показать милосердие не на словах, а на деле. Если он приедет, вы увидите то же самое. Примем его как дорогого гостя.
It makes it all so much worse. Really, Conor? He tried to bury the hatchet and that didn't humanize him to you in the slightest? Like I said, special type of person, but at least this time was retaliatory, albeit overshooting.
Honestly, when Conor does stuff like that, it's hard to understand how there's still this mass amount of people that support that type of behavior.
For me, it's disappointing because I'm a guy I loved watching Conor McGregor come up and just dominate. And then he does and says shit thing after shit thing.
I've also heard the stuff about him cheating on his wife, but I couldn't be bothered to check if that's true, so I'm just gonna move on. But I will say, if that is true, that alone is enough for me to completely write off a person. If you don't value the trust of the family that you freaking built, what values do you have? I know McGregor has done a lot for charity, but don't give me that. Yeah, sure, he's probably done more total good in this world than me and everybody watching this video could ever do combined. And I'm not going to minimize that by saying that's only because he's rich, even though that is partially true. I just believe that there are good people and bad people in this world, and even the worst people are going to care about some things and do good for them. I think Conor is below average on the goodness percentage scale. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if we found the worst person on the planet, he or she only uses a small portion of the day to commit vile acts. So you're saying you're okay with that person saying, but look at all the times I wasn't serial killing. I think most people in the world wouldn't stoop to the lows that Conor McGregor has stooped to. He hasn't set a very high bar. I think it's actually pretty close to sea level, though, 12 is. Everyone makes mistakes, as if you're perfect. You're not better than him. Come on, stop it. This reminds me of this Dwight scene from The Office.
Security in this office park is a joke. Last year I came to work with my spud gun in a duffel bag. I sat at my desk all day with a rifle that shoots potatoes at 60 pounds per square inch. Can you imagine if I was deranged?
Like, how far gone does one have to be called a bad person? First of all, I absolutely am better than him because never have I ever randomly assaulted a person twice my age. Easy. Second of all, even if I was that worst person on the planet we were looking for, I still get to say if something's messed up or not. So if everyone makes mistakes, no one should get criticized for anything ever? What are you guys on about? Just think before you speak. And if you still want to say something similar to that, keep thinking until you don't. A lot of people thought it necessary to tell me to stay in my lane. My God, this is YouTube. Everybody's lane is whatever they want it to be. Yeah, I'm an MMA casual as of yet. So what? Don't listen to me then. Right now, I'm gonna make it my lane to tell you to shut the door and tell me whatever you want in the comment section because your lane there is whatever you want it to be.
Thunderous applause.
If you want to learn about every Khabib Nurmagomedov injury ever, click right here and subscribe. Glad you made it this far. Thanks.